Hello students, hope all of you are in good shape. Today we will be discussing the last chapter that is left, that is the MCC by R.K. Narayan. Okay, but before that I want to say something. I have noticed that not all the students, I think 50% students of class 7, they have submitted the revision worksheet. I just want to tell you why this revision worksheet is so important, or why revision is so important, because while reading new things we forget. It's very natural to forget, or those memories, they become blurred. That's why we revise all the things before examination. I revised the things that we have already discussed. All the things have been revised briefly. If you want detailed explanation, I have suggested, I have even mentioned in the written form in the study material, that watch the previous videos, the main videos. You will get a you will be able to experience, or you will be going through the chapter in full details then. Okay, you will get to know about the detailed explanation again if you watch the old videos. If you go through the chapters minutely, you take time, watch the videos, watch the brief video, the recent video where I discussed the important areas, then you at least submit the worksheet. It would be helpful for you only, not for me. That's why the revision is done. Those chapters will not be revised again. Only this last chapter will be taught, and maybe on the last day, this chapter we are just reading now, so it doesn't need any revision. It's a very recent thing, and I will revise the chapter settling into the secret annex along with it. That's it. Then all the chapters will be revised, and if you don't submit those worksheets, if you don't take the suggestions, then your revision will not be completed. Okay, so I am suggesting you again that watch the previous videos, revise the chapters very minutely. Then if you want to know the most important portions, you watch the recent video where I just mentioned the things briefly, and must submit the worksheet. I am not telling that those questions will come. No, probably any of those questions will not come. But you will get an idea that what type of questions may come in the examination, especially MCQ. We have practiced descriptive. I have provided most of the answers of those descriptive questions, but MCQ you need to also practice na. A few questions you can practice if you submit the worksheets, and other questions will be attempted. You can easily attempt if you go through the whole chapters. Anyway, so the chapter MCC, it is written by R.K. Narayan. The full name, as you can see, Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Narayan. He was one of India's leading novelists. Narayan's fiction is rich in humor, energy and simplicity. I'm sure that most of you have gone through any kind of work by R.K. Narayan, and they really are able to produce humor. They are humorous, but Narayan uses very lucid, very simple language. Okay, and he created the fictitious town of Malgudi, the town that he talks about in all those fictions written by himself. The name of that town is Malgudi. Most of his unforgettable characters live in that particular town. Some of his well-known works are Swami and Friends. Swami is, I think, none other than but the mouthpiece of the narrator himself. The Bachelor of Arts, the English Teacher, and the Guide. These are important works. These are important to remember for MCQ especially. Now we will go to the chapter. The story that you are about to read, actually we are about to read, is set in the fictional town of Malgudi. It is a story about three friends who are part of the Malgudi Cricket Club, or the MCC, Malgudi Cricket Club. But actually there was an original club of this particular name. The MCC originally stood for the Marylebone Cricket Club of London. Very important. a very significant club which was founded in 1787, important information, and made cricket laws until 1969. You can underline these information. Each and every information is really important for you to know. Let us read and find out what happens when Swami and his friends decide to buy cricket gear for their team. Cricket gear means cricket equipments. When you are a part of a cricket club, you need cricket equipments to carry on the playing. So that is the thing happening here. They want some equipments. Let's see what happens. The three friends sat around Rajam's table in his room. Mani held before him a catalog. Catalog, you know, the paper where all the descriptions, all the pictures of the products are given with price, with features and everything, of Messrs. Beans, the shop for sports goods. So from this particular shop they want to buy those equipments. And where are they sitting? Check. In the first line it has been given very clearly. He read. Who is reading? Mani. Junior Wheeler bats, 7, 8, made of the finest seasoned wood used by Cambridge Junior Boys 11. So finest seasoned wood. Obviously cricket bats are made of woods, and what finest seasoned means? Obviously the wood is dried before giving, before it is given any shape. So it is dried properly, it is furnished properly. Okay. And this bat, the makers use the most appropriate seasoned, finest seasoned wood to make these bats. And who used them? This Cambridge Junior Boys 11, a very famous cricket team, I guess. Let me have a look at it, said Rajam. He bent over the table and said, seems to be a fine bat. Have a look at it, Swami. Swaminathan craned his neck and agreed that it was a fine bat. Crane meant he just, see, the meaning has been given. He stretched out his neck in order to look at that, have a look of that catalogue like this. Okay, and he also felt that it was a fine bat, but there are some people who always carry a kind of careless attitude. They can never be serious in their tone or in their attitude. So similarly, with that attitude, Swami, he was indiscreet enough to say, it looks like any other bat in the catalogue. So very carelessly he said that, it looks like any other bat in the catalogue. So what's the difference? That kind of attitude. He was so careless in his attitude. Mani's left hand shot out. Okay, he was doing this, and from this side probably Mani's left hand shot out and held his neck like this. Okay, not a very loose grip. And pressed his face close to the picture like this. Okay, don't laugh at me. I'm just giving you the first-hand experience, the example. Why do you pretend to be a cricket player if you cannot see the difference between Junior Willard and other bats? You are not fit to be in our team. After this admonition, the hold was relaxed. So because of that careless attitude, which was not actually appropriate in that case, because they were having a serious discussion, Swami got a serious warning, that is called admonition, and after that admonition by Mani, that hold, it became loose. He warned him, you don't understand the difference between Junior Willard and any other bat. And why do you call yourself a cricketer? You don't fit in our team. Okay, you don't deserve to be a cricketer. That kind of warning was given by Mani. Rajam asked, Swami, do you know what the catalogue man calls the Junior Willard? It seems it is the Rolls Royce among the junior bat. Rolls Royce is a very heritage, antique kind of car, like BMW. All of us, we cannot afford BMW at least. we like Lamborghini, we cannot afford that thing. Very rare people can afford that thing. So similarly Rolls Royce, but it is a very antique and heritage kind of car. Okay, I mean before, long ago, even now it is available, but long ago very rare, very how to very A class people, superior standard people, they used to use these cars. Don't you know the difference between the Rolls Royce and other cars? So who call these particular bad Rolls Royce according to Rajam important? So don't you know the difference between the Rolls Royce and other cars? Swaminathan replied haughtily as if, no, I know. He was trying to be very proud that no, I know. I never said I saw no difference between the Rolls Royce and other cars. They were taking him very, how to say, very lightly. Other friends of Swami, they were taking him very lightly, so he felt a little bit low and he was like, oh, when did I say that I don't know the difference between other cars and Rolls Royce? What is the difference? Asked Rajam. When he said that, Rajam asked, okay, now tell me, what is the difference? Mani laughed and teased, come on, if you really know the difference, why don't you say it? Swaminathan said, the Rolls costs a lakh of rupees while other cars cost about 10,000. A Rolls has engines made of silver while other cars have iron engines. He is talking simply rubbish. He knows nothing. He is just pretending he knows everything. Oh, jeered Rajam. Rajam actually, he continued to tease. Mani was teasing and now Rajam was also teasing. A Rolls Royce never gives trouble while other cars always give trouble. A Rolls engine never stops. A Rolls Royce never makes a noise while other cars always make a noise. How stupid points these are. I hope you can already imagine. I don't need to explain that these are not any legit point. Okay, not even one is a legit point. He was just talking rubbish for the sake of talking. As he was asked, he had to say something. So he was saying just these and that. Nothing proper. And those other two students, those other two persons like Rajam and Mani, don't think that they knew everything. They were also same. Their condition was also same. So that's why though they were teasing, don't think that they knew everything. That's why they were teasing. Same. All of them were same. Okay, you will get to know why I am telling so. Why not deliver a lecture on the Rolls Royce? Asked Mani. Mani continued his teasing. Swami, I am glad you know so much about the Rolls Royce. I am at the same time ashamed to find you knowing so little about Willard Jr. We had about a dozen Willard Juniors when I was in Bishop Waller's. Oh, what bats! There are actual springs inside the bat so that when you touch the balls, it flies. Do you really think any bat in the whole world carries spring inside it? Now you understand what I was saying, that they were also the same. Okay, they were not so much knowledgeable or anything like that. Fine silk cord is wound round the handle. No bat, there is no bat, I guess. Though we accept that, okay, he played with bats which were having silk cords around the handle. Though we consider it for a second, that spring inside a bat, absolutely rubbish. You don't know anything and yet you talk. Show me another bat which has silk cord and springs like the Willard. Okay, he knows everything that Willard, those have Willard bats, those have springs, those have silk cords and everything. That's why they are superior. There was a pause and after that Rajam said, note it down, Swami. Swaminathan noted down on a paper, Willard Junior bat, Wheeler Junior bat. The spelling he wrote is this. Okay. Looking up asked, how many? Say 3. Will that do, money? Why waste money on 3 bats? 2 will do. But suppose one breaks in the middle of a match? Rajam asked. Do you suppose we are going to supply bats to our opponents? They will have to come provided with bats. We must make it clear. So money is like, what will you do with 3 bats? Will you supply bats to the opponent team also? They will come with their own bats and we will make it very clear. So what are you going to do with 3 bats? Even then, if our bat breaks, we may have to stop playing if we go with 2. 2 will do, Rajam, unless you want to waste money. So money was very much particular about spending money. Actually, as far as I know about the background, Rajam belonged to a well-to-do, very rich family, whereas money belongs to a more of a simple background. So he knew how to. It's not that he didn't want to spend money, but he knew that we should not waste money. Okay, unnecessarily. That's why he was being so particular. But don't use this in your answer. Don't use this. It has not been mentioned. The backgrounds and everything, those have not been mentioned in the text. I'm just sharing with you. Rajam's enthusiasm was great. He left his chair and sat on the arm of Mani's chair, gloating over the pictures of cricket goods in the catalogue. Swaminathan, though he was considered to be a bit of a heretic, I mean, whatever Swami said, that was totally different from all the other people's ideas. Okay, you check the meanings from here, you will easily understand. Caught the enthusiasm and perched. He also sat on something high, that is on the arm of the chair, on other arm of the chair. All the 3 devoured with their eyes the glossy pictures of cricket balls, bats and nets. They were as if engulfing the pictures. They were so fascinated to see the pictures painted on those glossy papers that we can see in magazine or something. In about an hour, they selected from the catalogue their team's requirements. So the time duration is important. And then came the most difficult part of the whole affair. A letter to Messrs. Beans for ordering goods. So they had to write a letter to the shop in order to they needed to provide the list that we want these and everything, and after that that shop will receive the letter and will think of delivering those products. Bare courtesy made Rajam offer the authorship of the letter to Mani, who declined it. So Rajam, just to maintain the politeness for manners and courtesy, he told Mani, oh, you want to write the letter, then you may write. But Mani flatly refused it. Then no, I don't want to write. Swaminathan was forced to accept it in spite of his protests, and he sat for a long time chewing his pencil without producing a single word. He had infinite trouble with spelling, and the more he tried to be correct, the more muddled he was becoming. Okay, Swaminathan had spelling problems, a very common problem. Okay, and he could not produce a single word, and sometimes it happens now when we want to be more accurate about spelling or anything, we want to make the things correct. What happens? We become more confused and things we commit mistakes. We make mistakes more. Okay, in the end, he sat so long thinking of spelling that even such words as the and became doubtful. Finally, Rajam took up the task himself. Half an hour later, he placed on the table a letter. So ultimately, who wrote the letter? Rajam. And he took half an hour, then he placed the letter. Now see the letter from MCC within bracket and Victory Union 11. He just wanted to give the name a more, he wanted to give the name more gravity, so he referred to the team as this thing also. Malgudi, from Malgudi they were writing. To Messrs. Beans, Sportsmen, Mount Road, Madras. The address is important. Dear sir, please send to our team 2 junior Willard bats, 6 balls, wickets and other things quick. It is very urgent. We shall send you money afterwards. Don't fear. Please be urgent. Yours obediently, Captain Rajam. Then again within bracket captains. So much gravity he is putting on his own name. So much emphasis he is putting on his own name, and you see the products that they are ordering, that is important for you to memorize. And don't fear means what? That you may trust us that we will send the money. Okay, you may keep faith. That is the thing, and he is writing don't fear. This later received Swaminathan's benedictions. He was like, yeah, it's nice, it's okay. He approved. But Mani expressed certain doubts. He wanted to know whether dear could stand at the beginning of a letter to a perfect stranger. Like you were writing to a letter to a perfect stranger, you were calling him dear sir. Why to be so much friendly or familiar? How can you call Beans dear sir? You must say sir. Rajan's explanation was, I won't say sir. It is said only by clerks. I am not Beans' clerk. I don't care to address him as sir. So you can very easily say that the words that he is saying, from those words it is very clear that he did not want to call him sir, because he believed that if he called him sir, he would have given himself the standard of a clerk. He was very much image conscious kind of fellow, I would say. Standard conscious. Okay, but in childish sense. Okay, in childish sense, he did not have that much depth of mind to understand these standards and all. You can easily understand from their conversation that how much childish they were. Okay. So the letter was so this letter went as it was, no changes. After this exacting work, so much effort was required. They were resting with a feeling of relief when the postman brought a card for Rajam. Rajam read it and cried, shouted, "Guess who has written this?" Beans, silly, it must be our headmaster. Somebody. J.B. Hobbs. Now who is J.B. Hobbs? John Barry Hobbs. The birth and death year is not, those things are not that much important. You can memorize but not so important. An English cricketer regarded as one of the best batsmen in the history of cricket. So a very famous cricketer, batsman. It is from Shankar, Rajam announced joyfully. Shankar? We had almost forgotten that old thief. Now you can ask me, why Miss Thief? Maybe sometimes we call our friends and, hey idiot. In that casual funny sense, maybe they call him thief, or maybe there is any particular incident mentioned in the other portion of this novel that we don't know about. So let's not bother ourselves with this particular term. Swaminathan and Mani tore the card from Rajam's hand and read, they snatched it. My dear friend, I am studying here because my father came here. My mother is also here. All of us are here, and we will be only here. I am doing well. I hope you are doing well. It is very hot here. I had fever for 3 days and drank medicine. I hope I will read well and pass. Is Swami and Mani doing well? It is very hot here. I am playing cricket now. I can't write more. With regards, your dearest friend Shankar. P.S. Don't forget me. S. I think S stands for Shankar again. Very funny. He was also, I think, unable to produce new sentences using new words. That's why the same kind of sentences are repeated again and again. You can easily understand how awkward the whole letter sounds. They were profoundly moved by this letter and decided to reply at once. 3 letters were ready in an hour from 3 persons. Mani copied Shankar's letter verbatim, word by word, whatever Shankar had written, Mani copied it. Swaminathan and Rajam wrote nearly similar letters. They said they were doing well by the grace of God. They hoped that Shankar would pass and also that he was doing well. Then they said a lot about their cricket team and hoped that Shankar would become a member. They also said that Shankar's team might challenge them to a match. So they wanted Shankar to do well to pass in his upcoming exam, and they came to know that Shankar was also playing cricket, so they wanted Shankar to join their team, or they hoped that maybe one day they would have a cricket match with Shankar's team. The letters were put into a stamped envelope, and the flap means that we paste here, the opening portion of a envelope was pasted. It was only then that they felt the need of knowing Shankar's address. Obviously, they needed to mention the address, otherwise how would the postman send the letter? To whom? To where? I mean, where? They searched all parts of Shankar's card, not a word anywhere regarding address they could find. Not even the name of the town he was writing from. They tried to get this out of the postmark, but a dark carved smudge on the stamp cannot be very illuminating. So here we can easily understand that they could not get any information. Wait a second. Extremely sorry for the interruption. So what were we reading? They tried to get this means the address out of the postmark that is given by the post office members, but a dark carved smudge, it was not of that much superior quality. I mean, the postmark is not a thing that remains intact, or you can get any information from that particular thing. It gets smudged generally on the stamp, cannot be very illuminated. So from the stamp they could not get anything because it was kind of smudged and the letters were not prominent. Even we don't know whether anything was written on that particular mark, so they didn't get any information from that postmark also. So God knows what they did do. Maybe they sent it somehow, or maybe they didn't. They could not just send those letters. Okay, so we will learn about the rest of the story on the next day, but today I'm not sure whether I'm going to provide any worksheet or not. Maybe I will provide some MCQ, or maybe on the last day or on the second day, I mean on the next day, I will provide some MCQ from the whole chapter. It's not, I'm not sure, so you just check. I have not uploaded it till now, so you check what I have uploaded when I will be uploading. Okay, so you check it and submit it if there is any worksheet, and go through the portion that I have discussed. This portion only you go through today, then ask me about your queries. I will be there to help you. Okay, so bye bye. And that revision thing, revision is done for you only, so don't skip the revision worksheet, don't skip the revision video. And the suggestions that I give in the revision video, the most important suggestion is watch the previous videos where everything has been explained very in details, in full details. And if you are facing any query, you don't think that Miss has already revised those 2 chapters, Subira and in the Bazaars of Hyderabad. Even now, if you are having any kind of query from those chapters, you ask me, I will explain in the live class or in the next video, no problem. So bye bye.